5 in the morning. You don't wake up, you are woken up. Your maid, a girl called Agnes, who sleeps on a trundle bed at the foot of yours, pulls back the heavy bed curtains, and the cold hits you like something physical. Not the gentle chill of a cool morning, the bone-deep, breath-visible January in an English manor cold that has been sitting in the stone walls all night, waiting. You are Lady Anne Beaumont, 28 years old, wife of Sir Robert Beaumont, who is currently at court in London attending to the king's business, which in 1545 means he is navigating the most dangerous court in living memory. 2 queens executed in the last 4 years. The king is 53, sick, and paranoid. 3 of his closest advisors have lost their heads since you were a child, and your husband is in that same room as him every single day. She says it to herself, not to Agnes, not to anyone. She says it because in 1545, the alternative to believing it is not something she can afford before breakfast. Because while her husband is in London, she is running an estate of 400 acres, 18 indoor servants, 32 outdoor staff, and a household budget that has to balance to the last penny. And it is 5 in the morning, and she is already behind. The first thing she does, before she speaks to anyone, before Agnes brings the washing water, before the fire in the hearth has properly caught, is pray. Not because she is especially devout, though she may be, because in 1545, prayer is the safest thing you can do before you do anything else. Henry VIII has spent 15 years dismantling the Catholic Church, installing himself as its head, and executing people who disagreed with the direction of the change. The wrong prayer, said to the wrong saint, witnessed by the wrong person, is information. And information in Tudor England is currency, and sometimes it is a weapon pointed directly at you.
So Anne prays carefully. She knows which saints are currently acceptable. She knows which practices have been quietly dropped. She knows that the illuminated Book of Hours her mother gave her, the one with the Catholic imagery on the cover, stays locked in her chest, under her winter linens. Agnes has been in her household for 3 years. Anne trusts her, mostly. She rises, smooths her skirt. Her expression closes like a door shutting. The woman who walks out of that chapel is not the woman who prayed in it. The one inside was frightened. The one outside cannot be. Because here is something the history books gloss over about Tudor England. People informed on each other. Neighbors, servants, sometimes family. The reward for reporting heresy or treason was real, and the punishment for not reporting it was sometimes worse than committing it yourself. So she closes the chapel door, she straightens her back, and she gets on with it. Getting dressed takes 45 minutes. Every single morning. 45 minutes. Not because Tudor noblewomen were vain, though fashion mattered in ways that went far beyond vanity, but because the clothing itself is extraordinarily complex, physically demanding to put on, and requires 2 people to fasten correctly. It starts with the linen smock, the only layer that touches her skin, and the only layer that will be washed regularly. Over that, stays, stiffened with whalebone, which Agnes laces from the back, tight enough to give the correct silhouette, tight enough that her breathing changes. Then the farthingale, the rigid hoop structure, then the petticoat, then the kirtle, then the gown itself, then the sleeves, attached separately and pinned at the shoulder, then the partlet, then the hood. In 1545, the French hood is in fashion. Anne wears it, not because she loves it, she doesn't particularly, but because being unfashionable is a signal. It says you are not paying attention, that you are falling behind in ways that go beyond clothing. And in 1545, being seen to fall behind is not something Anne Beaumont can afford. Agnes pins the last sleeve. Anne looks down at her hands, encased in fabric, perfectly still. Before noon, my lady. By 7 in the morning, she has broken her fast. Bread, ale, cold meat, eaten standing at the great hall table, because sitting down fully implies she has time to sit, which she does not, and she is in the estate office. The steward brings the accounts. She reads them herself. Some noblewomen delegate this entirely. Anne learned early that the steward's version of the accounts and the actual accounts are sometimes slightly different in ways that always seem to favor the steward, so she reads them herself, every morning, every line. Today's problems? The North Field drainage has failed again, spring planting at risk. A kitchen girl is sick, the third this month. Something wrong with the East Well. And the wool merchant has sent word that he can offer 12 shillings a sack less than last season. He is testing her. She knows it immediately. She has a cousin in Norwich who writes to her about wool prices. The market is not that poor. She dictates her response. 11 shillings less, not 12. And a note that she will be speaking to the Norwich market directly if he cannot improve his position. The steward writes it down. He has learned not to question her on these things. This is the part almost no one talks about. While her husband was at court, the estate did not pause. It ran because she ran it. The legal fiction of the time said a married woman had no independent existence. But 400 acres, 50 staff, and a family's entire financial future depended on her competence. Every single day. Not some days, every day. By 10 in the morning, Anne has reviewed the accounts, handled the wool merchant, visited the still room where her women are preparing medicines and preserves, checked her eldest daughter's Latin lesson, and written 2 letters, one to her husband in London, one to her sister in Kent. The letter to her husband is carefully worded: estate matters, children's progress, household news. She does not write that she is frightened for him. You did not put fear in a letter in 1545. Letters could be opened. Letters were sometimes evidence. She folds it, seals it, holds it for just a moment. She sets it down with the other correspondence, picks up the next letter, keeps moving. She is 28 years old. She has been married for 7 years. She has buried 2 children and raised 3. She runs an estate that would overwhelm most modern managers, and she has done all of it before most people in this century would consider themselves properly awake. Here is what I want you to take from this. Tudor noblewomen were not decoration. They were not passive. They were operational, competent, politically aware in ways that were genuinely dangerous to be. They managed complex systems under real personal risk. Religious uncertainty, the proximity of royal paranoia, the constant possibility that a wrong word could end everything. You think the luxury would make it easier? The manor house, the servants, the velvet gown? It didn't. The luxury was also the cage. And the only key Anne had, the only real control she held over any of it, was being better at the job than anyone expected her to be. She closes the window, picks up her next letter. It is not yet 11 in the morning. Agnes leaves. Anne does not watch her go. She is already reading the next page. Every week on Flint Chronicles, we put you inside a moment in history that the textbooks skip over. Not the kings, not the battles, the real people, running their lives, making impossible decisions, surviving systems that were designed to grind them down. If that is the kind of history you want, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next one is coming soon.